What better 4th birthday present could we have gotten other than a round unplayable in core shows for almost 2 years? Space Race, welcome back. It's great to see an old friend. On July 23rd, one day after I posted my 32-minute video talking about content droughts, Fall Guys absolutely resurrected the game once again with update 11.1.
You mad, bro?
Nah, I'm not tripping though. It just means I get to make another video. So boom, look at this beautiful JPEG image we got from the Fall Guys Twitter, breaking down everything that we can expect from this update. New knockout levels, a new fame pass, creative tools, faster loading, unvaulted rounds, a new lobby background in 3 dimensions, and a whole slew of bug fixes and quality of life improvements. Now that's pretty solid considering that Fall Guys and UEFN and Fortnite Creative dropped on the exact same day. And out of nowhere, to celebrate the 4th birthday of Fall Guys, we got a new limited time show and a brand new challenge event to boot. The 4th anniversary party. I know that Mediatonic must have been swamped for the past couple of months, so to see them get an update out of this size only a month into summer is very promising. Anyways, like always, I want to provide a little bit more context and break down some things you may not have noticed and just go over things in a little bit more detail. We are getting dangerously close to 1,000 subscribers. A couple of days ago, I put out this poll in my community tab asking what you want to see for a 1K special. It looks like it's heavily leaning toward a Q&A. So make sure you drop any questions down that you might have for me in the comments and I'll get working on that. All right, enough chatting. Let's get started with the first thing you noticed when you loaded up the game. We now have a 3D lobby background. It's volcano themed, remixed from the creative skybox that we got in the survival update, or update 10.8. I think it looks amazing. It's obviously not super high definition, but I actually think the slight blur that it has helps to make the UI features stand out a little bit more. On a side note, it feels like the lighting in this update is also much better. Update 11.0.1 had some weird greenish yellow hue to its lighting on the lobby screen, but this update seems to get rid of that. Maybe it's just my eyes, y'all gonna have to let me know, but I really do like the lighting that's on the lobby screen in this update. Another thing I noticed is that when you go from the lobby screen to like the show selector screen or the lobby screen for the locker, you get this really cool transitioning of colors that was never really present in any other updates because we just didn't have 3D lobby backgrounds. What's interesting to me is that we didn't get the 2 backgrounds that were leaked from a long time ago, but you know how Mediatonic likes to drip feed its content. So hopefully when they do get around to adding more backgrounds, we'll be able to choose the one we like the most for more customization. What 3D lobby background do you think we're getting next? Moving on to Knockout, our prayers have been answered as 25 new creative levels have finally been added. Here is the full grid list of all of them. There are 16 courses, 7 survivals, and 2 final rounds. Starting now, I will post full unedited playthroughs of the entire Roundpool from each version of Knockout, just for time capsule sake. I'll be doing this on my 2nd channel, and I'll link it down in the description. This is such a relief as a Fall Guys fan. Obviously, we knew that there would be refreshes, but after 11 weeks, it was getting pretty stale with that last rotation. Hopefully Mediatonic can get that down to about 6 to 8 weeks in the future, as that feels like a much better timeline for players to get familiar and proficient in the levels while not getting too bored. A mid-update refresh, similar to what happened on May 29th with the first Knockout Roundpool, might also be a good idea, just to replace levels that maybe the community isn't too fond of. But as of right now, I'm a happy camper. I seriously believe in this game mode's ability to be fantastic long term. So as long as they keep showing it love, we are all good. All right, let's briefly talk about Fame Pass 12. Mentioned in my last video, the July 24 Fame Pass had accidentally been leaked on Vimeo, and so we already had seen the trailer. Even though it doesn't have a name, it's very clearly time travel themed and has really cool skins like these volcanoes, these dinosaurs, and these time travel explorers. There is again a bundle skin available with this pass for an extra 900 show bucks, but unfortunately there are still no emotes in this pass. Yes, I'm gonna complain about that every month until we get some back, and you can't stop me. Even if the overall value for the pass is still pretty good for 600 show bucks. I'm going to talk about Fame Pass 12 in a little bit more detail in State of the Game 7, so that's all I'll say on it for now. Let's move on to the Unvaulted Rounds. So far, throughout this update, there have been 8 unvaulted rounds. Absolutely crazy. That makes for 12 unvaulted rounds in the last 2 updates. At the time of 11.1's release, 4 classic levels were unvaulted. They were Speed Circuit, Night Fever, Ski-Fall, and Egg Siege, all of which were previously vaulted for 609 days. 1 day later, on July 24th, Party Promenade was added back to solos, duos, and squads after being removed on May 7th because of unintended shortcuts from the new jump physics, which have now been fixed. And finally, on August 1st, Lost Temple, Hyperdrive Heroes, and Space Race have finally been re-added to these respective playlists. It has truly been an insane 10-day stretch for Fall Guys fans. With the unvaulting of Egg Siege, there are no more team games in the vault. Duels and squads lovers are eating good right now. With all these unvaulted rounds, it's so interesting to see new and experienced players struggle. New players struggle because they've never seen some of these rounds before, and experienced players struggle because it's been so damn long. That's the great thing about unvaulted rounds. It really does do a lot for new and returning players, bringing them something fresh and exciting to learn or relearn. With the last 2 updates unvaulting 12 total classic rounds, this is now the largest round pool of all time. Not counting the 2 Invisibeans levels, it puts us at 68 out of 80 levels available. 85% of all classic rounds are now available to play somewhere in the classic shows. In comparison to the game on May 7th, which only had 17 out of 80, classic round availability has quadrupled in the past 90 days. Absolutely unheard of, and very necessary to celebrate the 4-year anniversary of Fall Guys. So let's talk about that. Mediatonic surprised us with a 4-year anniversary challenge event for Fall Guys. It features the most ambitious limited time show we have ever seen. If you're watching this video on the day it's released, you have about 4 more days to play, so make the most of it while it's here. It's a 28 to 30 player show, cycling through 10 rounds of 54 classic levels for a winner's reward of 4 crowns. If my memory serves me correctly, this is the largest reward for a single show in the history of Fall Guys. After having the Mome explain it to me like I'm 5 on Twitter, I can now tell you that the rounds you get are based on season chronology. For example, you'll get a round like Hit Parade from Legacy Season 1 in round 1, Night Fever from Legacy Season 2 in round 2, Ski Fall from Legacy Season 3, Skyline Stumble from Legacy Season 4, Stomping Ground, Party Promenade, and so on and so forth. It actually works out perfectly because in Season 10, or SS4, there were no classic levels, so that's where they put the final round instead. Now you can see why these recently unvaulted rounds are so important. It would have been pretty boring to get Frantic Factory over and over again in round 8, or missing out on some fan favorites from over the years from other seasons. Playing the 4th anniversary event will give you a chance at some exclusive rewards. A new nickname called Ready for a Party, nice pun, a free skin, the Crown Carrier costume, the Laurel Wreath pattern, and 3,500 fame for your fan pass in total. Each reward, like always, has a certain challenge associated with it, meaning that you'll have to reach a certain number round and win at least one of these 4th anniversary parties to receive all of the available rewards. Now, of course, this wouldn't be a Juneski video without some random fact that nobody cares about. I always stress the importance of variety in this game, and over the past few months, and in May especially, that was a huge issue. With the unvaulted rounds and 10-round nature of this show, the amount of possible games gets insane. In round 1, there are 10 openers for the game to choose from. In round 2, there are 3 rounds for the game to choose from. In round 3, there are also 3. In round 4, there are 6. In round 5, there are 5. Round 6 also has 5. Round 7 has 4. Round 8 has 3. Round 9 has 2. And finally, the final round has 11 different possibilities. Multiplying all 10 of these numbers together, there are a total of 3,564,000 possible games that you could get from playing this LTM. This isn't exactly perfect due to the fallback round activating with more than 10 players and some rounds being slightly more likely than others, but still, I'm seriously stoked for how well the game is getting treated right now. In State of the Game 6, I complained about the knockout round pool, which got refreshed 1 day later. Then I complained about the lack of fun events, and 10 days later, we got the 4-year anniversary challenge event. I even complained about the lack of LTMs, and we got Extreme Solos back on the day of the update's release. I've seriously got no more complaints at the moment. Any negative things I have to say at this point are negligible and nitpicking, which I'm not going to do any of in this video. Mediatonic is on top of the world right now, and they brought their 4-year-old game along for the ride. Okay, let's round up this video with the rest of the additions in this update. Faster round-to-round loading time. I'll be honest, I've not been able to get a great example of this, but just take my word for it. It is definitely faster, especially as fewer and fewer players need to load in between rounds. Just look at this example from this discovery level. We didn't even have to do a falling screen, a small but much needed improvement. Precision object placement and creative. No longer do you have to do ridiculous rotation tricks to get your obstacles and platforms lined up in the way that you want to. 11.1 now features precision object placement for creative, meaning creating sharp angles and detailed builds is that much easier. We now have full 360-degree rotation, where previously you could only rotate things in 15-degree increments. We can now toggle visibility as well as collision in Fall Guys Creative. Menaces and trolls are out in full force with this update, as you can now have invisible walls as well as fall through objects. They do mention that these tools are primitive and may have some unintended consequences, but I've already seen some really cool applications with them that I intend to showcase in much more detail in State of the Game 7. Didn't quite get to the quality of life improvements and fixes that I noticed in this video. The 4th anniversary event caught me by surprise, and it took up more of the video than I anticipated. No worries though, I'll make sure I cover it in State of the Game 7, which should drop on schedule this time around the last week of August. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe. We are heading up to 1,000 subscribers pretty soon here, so make sure to leave me any Q&A questions in the comments. I'll do my best to get that video out ASAP after the milestone is hit. Have a great day everyone, and I will see you again very soon.